Good morning. My name is Guillermo Zamacona, and I'm presenting on behalf of my group and our advisor, Professor Rosen, Senate Bill 1120. Throughout this summer, we have conducted a broad study on the implication and scientific foundations of this proposal to the state of New York. Today, we will go briefly over the legislation and its goals, the environmental issue the bill addresses, the climate change and the impacts on the state, the energy sources of the state and its dependency on natural gas, the prospective solutions and outcomes, and how our group measured the success of our program. Senate Bill 1120 will provide grants up to $100,000 to small businesses developing innovative energy and environmental technologies within the state. Senate Bill 1120 has three goals. For the security of the state, the bill will increase the reliability on the energy supply. For the economy, the bill will improve the health of businesses and will create jobs. And for the environment, the bill will support innovative environmental and energy technologies. In our project, we examined and broke down the main environmental problems of the state. We study issues such as water pollution, solid waste generation, and climate change. Our focus for this briefing will be climate change due to its far-reaching impacts. So how will climate change affect New York? Among its impacts is the sea level rise, the forest degradation, ocean acidification. We saw the case of the Long Island Sound, and its impact on the agricultural output of the state. One interesting example of this is the case of the dairy industry, where New York is the 5th largest producer in the country, and increasing temperatures will impact the milk production up to 50%. Today, we have a wide consensus in the scientific community that there is a warming in the Earth's climate. According to the experts gathered at the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, warming of the Earth is unequivocal, and it is strongly related to CO2 emissions, as you can see in this graph. In order to achieve our goal, we target the largest source of CO2 emissions, and that is the way we produce our energy. Natural gas is the main source of energy in New York. It accounts for 37% of the energy consumption. So for this reason, our study was focused on natural gas. Why do we use natural gas in New York State? Well, the main reason is it's very abundant, both in New York and in the US, as you can see in this map. New York State has more than 6,000 wells of natural gas extraction in the state. During the process of our study, we also went into the ecological implications of the extraction of natural gas. Basically, there are two types of natural gas extraction, conventional and hydrofracking. Issues with hydrofracking are groundwater contamination, intensive use of water and chemical compounds, leaks of methane, land degradation, among others. At the moment, conventional extraction is the only method used in the state. Regardless of the extraction method, the combustion in natural gas has environmental consequences. In this chart, you can see that natural gas has lower emissions than oil and gas, but it still has high CO2 emissions. Therefore, we can do better. And in our study, the alternative for the state reliance on natural gas were the energy efficiency technologies and renewable energy generation. We are going to focus on solar and wind, as they have been proved to have the largest potential for growth in the state. By assessing the environmental impacts of our current energy sources, from the time we extracted to the time we decommission them, our research projects indicate that in comparison to natural gas, renewable energy like solar and wind will significantly reduce our carbon footprint in New York. The total carbon emissions of solar and wind make up 7% and 2% of the natural gas. Solar photovoltaic is a feasible technology in the state and has already proven success. A study by CUNY concludes that 66% of the rooftops in New York, that is the picture on the right, are suitable for the installation of solar panels. Wind has also proven to be a feasible and efficient technology in the state. This map shows the wind farms for the state as for May 2012, and the power generated by wind at the moment can power up to 500,000 homes. We also studied the controversies, and we found out that there are always controversies, and renewable is not the exception. In our study, we saw the case of Allegheny, New York, that it's a little town in the state, where a group of citizens sue a company named EverPower that is constructing a wind farm. And the citizens' arguments were noise pollution and disruption of natural beauty. And the company and local government arguments were the jobs creations and the CO2 emissions reductions and benefits to the local economy. Controversies has to do with different values and are endless in life. For our project, we chose two indicators we chose to measure the potential of our solutions were the decrease in natural gas consumption and a reduction of the CO2 emissions. To measure the potential decrease of natural gas due to energy efficiency and renewable, we use the equation shown here. And we made assumptions about increased energy efficiency and increased renewable generation. And the first indicator of success in our study was the decrease in natural gas. Here you can see the energy consumption of natural gas by 2011 was 1.25 quadrillion BTUs. And by improvements in energy efficiency and increasing renewable technology, we could lower that by 40% less than in 2012 in 2020. Up to, we can go down to 0.67 quadrillion BTUs. Our second indicator of success was CO2 emissions reductions. 1 billion BTU of natural gas is equal to 117 pounds of CO2 emissions. This animation shows the 2020 projection of natural gas consumption and the CO2 related emissions, which are 40% less than in 2011. In conclusion, the potential of Senate Bill 1120, if it's fully realized, it has the ability to lower natural gas consumption in the state by almost half. Some key takes away are that the state relies on natural gas for its energy needs, that externalities related to natural gas threaten our health and the quality of our natural resources, that innovative technologies supported by Senate Bill 1120 can decrease damaging externalities of our reliance to natural gas, that wind and solar technologies are feasible alternatives for the state, and that according to our model, natural gas can decrease by 47% by 2020 via improvements in energy efficiency and in the increase of renewable energy use. It's also a conclusion of us that Senate bill will help the state to continue in the leadership in the US and in the world in the climate change policies. Thank you, and all the questions are welcome. Yes, please.
Wait. Thank you very much for your presentation. So you spoke about some of the controversies regarding wind in New York, but I was interested in maybe the challenges for the installation and proliferation of solar panels in the city in order to achieve the stated goals of the renewable energy mix that the bill states.
Yes, of course. Well, we had to go really quick through the slides because we just had 10 minutes, so I hope it wasn't very rushed. But one of the outputs we study, and Jordan, who is part of the team that is here, we study a case that CUNY made where 66% of the rooftops in the city were suitable for photovoltaic solar, and that this SAFE could represent 4% of the total amount of energy in the state. So here, Jordan will help me with
Just
this.
answer the question a little bit more. The study was conducted using a laser imaging technique that they used to judge. This was just to judge the suitability, whether they could be installed physically, and then they combined that with assumptions about how much light is coming in. So it's not to say that there aren't hurdles in terms of getting building owners to want to install, rooftop solar panels over roof decks or anything like that. It was simply more to assess the capacity under a hypothetical scenario.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Let's thank our speaker.
Thanks.